The Wally Show podcast is our daily radio show heard live through the WayFM app each morning and hosted by Wally, Gavin, and me, Betty Rock. For more fun, be sure to connect with us at wayfm.com/Wally.
The Wally Show podcast is brought to you by Colorado Christian University Online, where you can earn a degree online just like Betty Rock. You can learn more at ccu.edu/Wally. Things you didn't know you needed to know today. It's News-ish with Betty.
When you have a kid or you're thinking about having a kid, it's amazing the amount of people that will step up and give you advice, whether you want it or whether you don't. And I found a book. It's from 1926, and it's called How to Raise the Baby. So if you're wondering what
I like
advice...
that they call it the baby back then.
Yeah. If you're wondering what advice there was on how to raise a baby back in the 20s, I'm going to let you know. And Gavin, with you having a newborn, maybe this will open your eyes to a few things. Okay, the first one is thumb sucking and the use of a pacifier. They said don't do it from day one. Don't even think about it. Don't even try it because it causes deformities with the jaw and the teeth. And while that is true, these days, pacifiers can reduce the risk of SIDS. So
really?
That's something to keep in mind.
I didn't know that.
I don't know what SIDS is.
Oh, I don't even want to tell you.
Okay.
Well, you need to find out though.
Moving on.
As a parent, you need to know.
How do you not know what SIDS is? How did no one tell you this?
Kids. SIDS.
No, yeah. Oh, it's
not good.
Sad, yeah.
And then also they say that it's okay for them to suck their thumbs or use a pacifier until the age of 5. Then you need to start trying to stop that.
Way earlier
Yeah.
than that. It's creepy to see a 4-year-old walking around with a pacifier in their mouth.
I think at 1 they might not be doing that.
Yeah. Another one, this one was more for the mom. They said for peace of mind, you don't want to get the mom worked up and you want to give her peace of mind. So they said don't even let her read.
Oh, that's a good idea.
No reading, no
Keeping
nothing.
women as ignorant as possible back then, I guess.
I feel like, the idea of peace of mind, like you're about to push a baby, like you're there's no way you have peace of mind going into all of
this is after having the baby.
Oh, okay.
So they're like,
then what's that all?
don't let them read books. You just need to keep them at a calm mind frame, okay? Don't let them attend plays. Don't let them be around people. Like they
Basically,
just need...
this was written by a man that's like, just keep her at home and have her do nothing except take care of that kid.
Yeah, exactly. And then finally, they said no cuddling. Do not cuddle that baby at all. They said just keep them in an upright position as much as possible.
Really?
Can you imagine?
I think there's a world where you balance the contact that you have with the kid versus teach this kid to be independent and teach it to use its neck
for
and all
sure.
that.
But when you say no cuddling at all,
no, you got to get your cuddles in.
Right, exactly. They say now that when you have a baby in the 21st century, they're like holding baby releases oxytocin.
Yeah.
It opens nerve pathways and it promotes bonding.
I mean, it's the first thing they do. Like, that's a big deal now is like they put the skin-to-skin contact. They put the baby right on the mother's chest. And they're like, that starts this bond.
But in the 20s, they were like, take that baby, put it in a chair. You're good.
In the 20s, the doctor was smoking a cigarette in the delivery room, ashing it as he's pulling the baby out. And then they're like, just sit in that chair over there. You'll be fine.
Don't worry about it.
Make sure your wife takes good care of this thing.
Yeah, don't let her read any books.
Yeah.
Jingle, jingle, jingle.
Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show. We're doing the Wally Show Jingle Contest. We don't have a big budget we don't have a budget on this show for just about anything. And so we've always wanted a really good jingle, but I didn't want it done professionally. I wanted it done by just people, like you that listen and could maybe knock out something like this. Yahoo! Yeah. There you go. I mean, very simple.
It's a simple jingle that right off the bat.
Memorable, And what we're doing with this is we're going to fly you to Nashville if you're our winner, and we are going to put you in the Capitol CMG studios, which are amazing. And then we're even going to have the guys from We the Kingdom there. This is their new song. And they're going to help produce the jingle and make it pretty great. Hopefully it'll be even better than this song,
We'll see.
I think they're gonna put in the work with you, okay? And so it's very simple. If you'd like to get in and submit your jingle,
just text the word jingle to 91979, and we will send you a link on there. It will get all your information. It's where you can upload your jingle that you wrote for the Wally Show, and you have to really use some of the knowledge that you've had from listening to the show.
Right.
That's helpful, But the more you can make it recognizable or unique, the better.
Well, there's one from Anthony here. He decided, we had a bunch of submissions yesterday, so get yours in. They're due by Friday. But Anthony here was very helpful. He works at Trader Joe's, so just a normal guy, just like you and me.
His co-workers seem to tolerate him. His listeners have very little choice. Wherever you are in your faith journey, you'll always be aggravated by that voice.
There
It's
you go.
Wally.
Yeah, there you go.
I like it.
Yeah, I knew you would. But then Lisa stepped up too. So Lisa, we appreciate her jumping in here.
Good golly, it's Wally.
Got some swagger.
At the Wally Show.
Hey, girl.
A little music, faith, and fun, and here we go. Done at the Wally Show.
I like it. And here we go down at the Wally Show. So she kind of crushed that as well. So do you think you got something better if you've listened to the show for any length of time? The best thing is, again, keep it short and make it memorable. And you could be coming to Nashville to record your jingle with We the Kingdom in the Capitol Studio. So pretty great. And it ends on Friday. So get that in.
So text jingle to 91979.
Fresh emails.
Wally at wayfm.com is how you can email me with whatever's on your mind. Sometimes people talk about things from the show or questions in general. This was from Twyla. She's a loyal potty. That's what we call our people that listen to the Wally Show podcast that you can get for free wherever you get podcasts. But says, hey, Wally, my husband has a friend with medical issues, and so they did a GoFundMe to help out with that. Over the weekend, my husband was making a donation and put in the amount to be donated. Scrolled down to complete the transaction, and there was a tip area pre-filled out.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
No.
Because you know how, like, on the show, we talk about tipping all the time. It drives us nuts because it's gotten out of hand. So in GoFundMe, I tested it out. I went to a GoFundMe because I'm like, this can't be real. So I look at it, and you put in your number, and as you scroll down, it starts off at 17% as a tip to help out GoFundMe. So you're basically helping fund somebody else's thing and helping fund GoFundMe. And you can adjust the tip or create a custom amount, but like
Zero.
but even then, like in this one, like the expected gift, like the suggested gift was huge. I'm like, what in the world?
My flabber is gasted.
Yeah.
Okay? Because that is ridiculous. I am getting sick and tired.
I know.
When did I become the owner of a GoFundMe?
At one point in time,
No.
like I just assumed that GoFundMe always takes a percentage of the amount being raised.
Yeah.
Is that not true, Gavin?
So I did look it up. It says it's always free to start and manage a fundraiser on GoFundMe. To help us cover payment processing, there's a transaction fee of 2.9% plus 30 cents per donation.
Yeah, so they're already charging you, and so now then they
On
add a
top of.
tip feature on top of it.
Ugh.
Lunacy.
I cannot. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Was it a little bit tricky in noticing it and changing it?
You had to put in the amount you're donating before you could change it. Once you put in the amount, there's a slider, and it was pretty big. It wasn't buried at the
Okay.
bottom. It was, as you scroll down, it was like the next thing.
Okay.
But again, and then it takes you out of the mindset of I'm doing something good for somebody. I'm really excited about this. To now you're like, why am I being asked for a tip here? I'm just going to turn that screen around for you. Just answer a couple questions.
I cannot.
Lunacy. And again,
can't.
if you need the money, GoFundMe. Make that an operating cost. Charge 5% then, and be
Yeah.
upfront about it, because we all know you're taking a piece of it. We know that's how it works. But stop with the tipping.
I need someone to explain it to me.
Yeah.
Explain it to me. Dumb it down like I'm 5 because I don't get it. Why is tipping such a big deal? After COVID happened, we haven't been able to get rid of it. I'm tired.
It's like everything. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. Once it starts going out, then it becomes part of what you do, and it becomes the expected, not what is suggested, kind of thing. And so there you go. So just as you're doing GoFundMes, they're great to do. I believe in them. I think it's a good thing. But just know that if you have tipping fatigue, if nothing else, GoFundMe, call it something else. Because right now, tipping fatigue is a big thing. Like, call it anything else. Call it a bonus gift to help more people, whatever.
Right.
But calling it a tip, I think is a big misstep. Every Tuesday, we attempt to mess with the time-space continuum here on Time Capsule Tuesday on the Wally Show on Uplifting Way FM. And what that is we all pick a year, we pick a song from that year that we liked, and then your job is to tell us who has the best taste in music, thereby agreeing with the song that they selected and telling us why you like that song as well. We usually let Betty Rock pick the year, and so what have you picked this year, Rock?
Yeah, the year is 2017.
2017, going back a little bit, farther than you think, but not too far.
Yeah, not too far back.
That's 7 years back.
It's funny that you say all that because I would like to go first with my song.
Okay.
And it's David Dunn's I Want to Go Back.
Oh, very nice. I remember this song, and I'm like, okay, kind of a kitschy song, like doing a playoff of, the children's song, This Little Light of Mine, and, and I was like, I didn't love it at the time, but it kind of grew on me. I think David Dunn is also the guy who was like a chemical engineer or something like that as well. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was him.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty smart. So that is Betty Rock's offering. Gavin, what are you putting up here from 2017?
I think the longer I'm here and in this industry, the more I like Micah Tyler.
Micah Tyler's great.
I think he's such a nice guy.
He's funny.
Super cool. But I really loved his song, Never Been a Moment.
There's never been a moment I was not held inside your arms. And there's never been a day when you were not who you say you are.
Yeah, I love Micah Tyler. He's great. We've had some fun times with him, too, doing interviews and everything. I apologize for my choice. I'm going to apologize right out of the gate for mine in that I just whooped both of you, and I'm sorry.
You're so confident, and I see the song.
Yeah.
I don't feel scared.
You should. It's Natalie Grant, the queen of Christian music, and her song, King of the World. This song is just such a well-written, great lyrical song.
When did I forget that you've always been the king of the world? I try to take life back.
I mean, it's great, but it's pretty slow.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hate on it.
Yeah.
I don't feel like your confidence is confusing.
Why are we playing more of yours?
Because you guys are talking over mine. I didn't talk over yours. But
Okay.
I feel like you did.
I will say this.
When did she forget
that
he was the king of the world?
Hearing it in conjunction with your two, it does sound like it just slammed the brakes on. Like yours two were both kind of up, and then mine's like, so it's like when we're goofing around like on the show and we're laughing about something, we go into I can only imagine.
Make a joke. Oh.
Yeah. Oh. There it is, Rock. Thank you for your help.
Nope,
not at all. Not on the same page. All right. 855-33-WAY-FM. That's 855-33-WAY-FM. You tell us which King of the World song you like the best. And you can.
No. Which song from 2017 you like best? We've got David Dunn's I Want to Go Back, Micah Tyler's Never Been a Moment, and then Natalie Grant's King of the World.
So whichever song you like that has King and World in it, you let us know. 855-33-WAY-FM and tell us why you like the song that you're picking. All right, Tim, you are up. You are our Time Capsule Tuesday decider today. You need to tell us which of the three songs, I Want to Go Back, David Dunn, that was Betty Rock's choice. Never Been a Moment, Micah Tyler, that was Gavin's choice. or King of the World, Natalie Grant, My Choice? Which song do you think is the best for you?
Well, it's definitely between the first two because the third one put me to sleep while I was driving.
All right, you guys are not playing fair today because that was a great song. All right, so which song did you end up going with?
Never Been a Moment, and I'm a little partial. It's one of the songs I listened to. My wife left me for good reason. I had multiple addictions. It encouraged me to go to celebrate recovery, and I have been in active recovery from all of my addictions except for one since. And my wife and I are doing so much better. I've got a great community, great friends, and I continue pursuing the Lord, and even my musical taste is getting better.
Well, yeah, your musical taste is pretty good if you went with Micah Tyler. That's a great song, and he's got a bunch of great songs. So are your wife and you back together, or are you just kind of friends and working life out?
No, we're back together. We are loving each other and loving God more and more every single day.
Well, there you go. Well, that's great, man. I love it. I love seeing a success story with marriages and an almost success story with addictions. You got one more to go. Knock it out.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to do my best.
Well, there you go. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate you being on with us, man.
Woohoo! Y'all have a blessed day.
I've been a sinner, I've been a saint, a little bit of both every single day. I've been lost, but somehow I've been found. There's been some pain, been some regret, been some moments I'll never forget. But when I look...
Hey, it's Wally and Betty from The Wally Show, and winning is the best. It feels so good to win something. Like, Rock, what is something that you've won?
I won a baseball bat once.
Are you serious?
Yeah, which is ironic because, I don't play baseball.
Yeah, you're not very sporty. What'd you do with it?
That's a great question. Might have given it to Goodwill.
Okay, well, here's a way you could win something that you would actually use, unlike Betty Rock's baseball bat. Although I bet there are times with me you wish you still had it.
Yeah, I do. Colorado Christian University is offering you a chance to win a $10,000 or a $5,000 scholarship towards an associate, bachelor's, or master's degree offered 100% online.
And even if you don't win the grand prize, you can still get a $1,000 scholarship just for entering. And this is a great way for you to start or finish your education. All you have to do is text CCU, those letters, CCU, to 91979, and we will send you a link.
So what have you got to lose? I went to CCU and I got 2 degrees, and I'm so glad that I did it. And you can too. Contest ends tomorrow.
It's The Wally Show.
It is the end of an era, but you might have already thought, well, I thought this era ended when I tell you what it was. The last full-sized Kmart is set to close.
Oh, man.
I know. Do you remember blue light specials? Did you remember that? Have you ever heard that term?
I've heard the term. I don't know if I've ever witnessed it for myself.
Blue light specials, they would have this rolling blue light, and when there was like, blue light special, they'd run it to like the aisle, and you would go get a special deal on whatever it was they were hawking.
Huh.
And so that was the blue light special.
There was one that was close to me when I was growing up, and that was where I have a scar on my hand, on my finger.
Oh, really?
That crescent that I got,
that.
that was from a Kmart.
Was it really?
Back in the day.
That checks out. And again, it's like back in the day too, like you didn't sue them for that. Like, times are simpler.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, your parents are like, people are like, are you going to sue Kmart for hurting your child? And then your dad, I see Danny Ray going, my little one, my youngin', she got what she got coming to her.
My two blossom.
That's right. You don't mess with Kmart. I told her a million times. Kmart will whoop you, girl, and it will. And unfortunately, Kmart is closing. They have one other store in New York that's like
New York?
a half store. Yeah, it's really weird, man. Like, or Miami rather. The one in New York is closing, but there's one still down in Miami that's like not a full Kmart. It's just a K, I guess.
It's like the end of an era.
I know,
it's
it really
just kind of
is.
sad.
It really is. And the reason I do this story is just so I can play a Nate Bargatze clip, who I really like his comedy. But it's an older clip from him talking about Kmart's.
You ever go to a store and like think someone works there because like whatever they're wearing just like matches everybody else? Okay, mine was actually meaner because I walked up to this guy. I was like, "Hey, excuse me, do you know where the razors are at?" And then the guy was like, "Well, I don't work here, dude." And then I like looked at what he was wearing because I thought I made that mistake. He had a football jersey on. It couldn't have been more obvious that he did not work at Kmart. So basically, I just judged his face, figured he had a Kmart face. And then even when he was like, I don't work here, I was like, come on, man, like, you probably have an idea of where they're at. Like, Where would you put them if this was your Kmart? Like where would they go?
There you go. R.I.P. K-M-A-R-T.
Jingle, jingle, jingle.
Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show. We're looking for somebody to do a jingle for the Wally Show. Now, here's the best part of this. You don't have to be a professional musician. You don't even have to be talented. You just got to be creative and maybe come up with something that encapsulates the show and is short and quick and memorable. I mean, you remember some of the old classics, right?
Expedia.
Yeah, that one is very memorable. Very memorable. And so if you are our winner, you are going to get to come to Nashville. We are going to send you to the Capitol EMG studios, but we're not going to leave you in there alone. We're going to send you in there with We the Kingdom, and they are going to actually help produce your jingle and make it amazing. I mean, you know they can write songs like their new hook here, Won't He Do It?
Say, won't he do it? Yes, he will. Won't he do it? Yes, he will.
Now, one way you can enter is by texting.
Jingle. Text Jingle to 91979.
You'll get a link. You can do it right from your phone. You can submit your jingle there. Or we're going to hold open auditions right now as well, okay? Now, the reason that this whole thing came about is the gang very, very kindly tried to do something nice for me, and that was get me a jingle for the show for my birthday from one of my favorite Canadian artists, James Chapesky on TikTok.
Artist is so kind.
Yeah, if you haven't heard of him, well, don't be surprised.
It's so bad. I love it so much.
Yeah,
okay?
Like he thinks he's a big deal on TikTok.
Yeah.
He maybe is, but for bad reasons.
So I asked him, I said, will you do a jingle? He says he'll do like songs for people, custom songs.
Mm-hmm.
So I put all this stuff together about what the tone of the show was and all this stuff for Betty to send to him. And she followed through and did it.
Yeah, and Gavin and I went halvesies. I think we shelled out $50
Yep.
to get it done.
Healthy money.
That's all I'm worth.
And this is what he came up with.
Yes, here it is. This is James Chapesky's jingle.
This is the Wally Show.
Wally,
Betty, Rock, and Garvin. Funny, clean, relatable on the Wally Show.
Okay. He spent no time. He pronounced it Wally, not Wally, and he even said Garvin.
Oh, man.
It's just not good.
That's the amount of, I think, brain and effort that I would expect from people getting into this one, into our contest. They'll do better.
We've had some people already submit a bunch of good stuff, like 100 and something entries.
Our expectation is pretty low.
Yeah, I mean, you see where the bar is, okay? So bring your best, and you can do it right now. Again, make it like kind of memorable, weird, something you know about the show, quick. Maybe you sing something every time you hear the show, like, I can't believe they're still doing this. They're dumb, or whatever. Like, because I sing stuff all the time in my head. If you find yourself doing that, this is perfect for you. So we'll open the phones for open auditions for this right now. 855-33-WAY-FM. Your short jingle that encapsulates the Wally Show. And again, you don't have much to live up to here. So 855-33-WAY-FM. We'll take your jingle right now. With all of that said, we'd love to hear your offering.
All right, with the Lord's greatest instrument, my voice. Here we go. It's early, but I got it. Home of Nashville and the Ryman Auditorium, Wally Ollie Oxen Free.
There you go. I don't hate that. Wally Ollie Oxen Free. That's a term you don't hear much, and it's very childish, so I love it.
Yeah.
Eli, great offering, and you're right. The Lord has given you a gift. Now, how long have you been listening?
Oh, man. We've been listening to Way FM and the Wally Show for years.
Okay, good. So you kind of know a little bit about the show and stuff like that. And again, the best part of this is you don't even have to be able to sing. You don't need instruments. Just something that we will, kind of that's hooky and will catch us. So with that said, Jessica, will you please give us your audition?
Yep, here we go. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Wally Show.
I like it. It's simple. I feel welcomed.
Yeah, and it's soothing. It's sweet.
It was soothing.
And it gets people in the right frame of mind until Wally's voice comes on. He's like, hey, everybody.
It's so funny you mentioned that because earlier Anthony submitted one himself, and Anthony mentioned the voice as well.
His co-workers seem to tolerate him. His listeners have very little choice. Wherever you are in your faith journey, you'll always be aggravated by that voice. It's Wally.
Yeah, there you go.
I love it, honestly.
I know you do. Hey, I
That's
appreciate
hilarious.
you being on the show with us today. Thank you. If you want to submit your jingle, just text jingle to 91979.
All right, thank you.
And all you got to do is bring it with your best jingle now, Nigel. So what do you got?
So no pressure then.
No pressure at all.
And I'm improvising on the fly here, but what I came up with for you, Wally, is it's Wally. Good, clean fun for me and you. It's Wally. And don't forget Gavin and Betty Rock, too. It's Wally.
You know what? If we could take the Gavin and Betty Rock out of this, I really liked where you were going.
I think it needed that because if they heard just Wally, they'd be like, I'm not tuning in.
Well, Nigel, that's a great offering. Make sure you text the word jingle to 91979 and you'll get a link there. And if you're not Nigel, you can do this as well and submit your jingle for consideration. The deadline is Friday to be up for the trip to come to Nashville to hang out with We the Kingdom and record your Wally Show jingle. Thank you, sir, for being on with us.
Thank you, guys.
Things you didn't know you needed to know today. It's News-ish with Gavin.
One thing that each and every one of us on this show has, whether it's a little paper copy or on our computer, is a to-do list for our jobs. I do think it is the precise and right way to operate and get all the things that you need to done.
Well, and Wally has said it before, and I agree with him. One thing that I agree with him
Thank you.
is that when you have a to-do list and you mark it off, you feel like you've accomplished something. It feels so good to just mark it off your list. And if you don't have a list to mark something off of, it feels like it didn't really exist.
And digital lists are not as much fun as scratching off a written list.
I think
for
you're right about
sure.
that.
Like I've had to go digital and I hate it.
Well, you have to-do lists. I think it's interesting that I found the opposite of them. Literally, the opposite is a to-don't list. Is something I just learned about today. To-don't lists are for the non-essential things we do that suck up our time. So here's
That's a good idea, like to help you prioritize.
Yeah, I think it's good for. I feel like it's a trendy thing for like emotional health at this point. A to-don't list might include things like don't overcommit to social engagements, don't offer to do favors for everyone, don't skip lunch just to keep working.
Sure.
I think that what's interesting about this is I think it can be very valuable for you when you start to feel overwhelmed and when you feel overstressed. I think it's a good thing to do here and there. I don't think it necessarily has to be this thing that you do every day. I don't think you have to have your to-do list and your to-don't list, and then you start checking all these things, and then you have way too many things you're trying to incorporate into your life. But every once in a while,
it just kind of puts at the forefront of your mind what it is that is sucking up your time. I know one of those things that I would add, but it would be hard to stick with, is not using so much time on social media.
I know.
Especially TikTok.
I'm with you.
I don't need to do that, and so because it is a time sucker for sure.
Yeah, I just wrote down my offering. I'm like, that's a good idea. I hadn't really thought about this. Like, what gets in your way or what messes up your day. So for my to-don't list, I put, don't let anyone steal your sparkle.
Oh.
So, yeah.
What sparkle?
I don't think that's in your control.
Yeah. Don't steal my sparkle.
Wait, what? Where?
I put that.
That's like
just
an
everywhere
order.
around me.
That's like a command. That's not like a.
Yeah.
I think you need
don't
to
let
add-
others push you around. That's another thing.
That's
my
one.
to-don't
Add
list.
to your to-do, find some sparkle.
It's really cool to see God work in different ways in people's lives. Hey, it's the Wally Show on Uplifting Way FM. And I got this email from a lady who says, hey, I was listening yesterday morning and you played a song that was definitely God's intervention. Unfortunately, I didn't catch the name of the song. I'm 98% sure it was a female artist. Do you keep your playlists? And I was at home. I couldn't go back and look at it. And I'm like, super impactful. I took a shot. I go, super impactful female artist. And I emailed her back. I said, if you can tell me anything about it, great. I could probably get it. But I'm going to take a guess here and say that it's The Truth by Megan Woods, this song here.
The truth is I am my father's child. I make him proud and I make him smile. I was made in the
Just kind of from the tone of what she was saying. I know it's a new song we're playing and stuff. And she emailed me back. She's like, that was it. I can't believe I got that. Like, I nailed that one.
It's a good one, though.
It's a great one. But here's what I love. She says, man, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Yesterday morning before the song came on, I was thinking about my past, and I had a whole lot of self-doubt creeping into my mind. And I was praying to God that he would take the enemy away. The song came on, and I was floored. God meets me most days in my car through prayers, my children, and through songs on the radio. But yesterday was super crazy how he answered all of my insecurities within seconds of them creeping into my mind. So thank you guys for helping me out. Like, I love that. Like, she is like, this is like God meeting me right here, God seeing me and what I needed, you know? And I do believe that he does that, you know? I think it's different. It looks different for everybody, but that's the whole thing that makes Christianity different from all the other world religions. It's the story of God pursuing us, whereas everything else is, what do I got to do to get to God, and how good do I have to be, and what do I have to accomplish to get to him? And God is like, I'm pursuing you, you know, and I'm going to show you this time and time and time again until you see it. And so I love that she got that moment. So this is what we want to talk about with you right now. When was the last time that you felt like God met you? You know, I'm not even talking like a physical thing, but you felt seen. You felt like, you know what, that was the God thing for me, you know, because of something I'm dealing with. 855-33-WAY-FM. That's 855-33-WAY-FM. If you've lived any time, you know, as a believer, I think most people have a moment like that at some point in time in their life where they're like, you know what, that was God meeting me right where I am. And that was the story for this lady, and so we would love to hear yours as well. 855-33-WAY-FM. That's how you can always be on the show with us. We love when you share your stories. 855-33-WAY-FM. So what was the time you felt that?
Well, it's going to be a challenge for you again because I can't remember the name of the song either. And so I thought, well, I won't call, but then I've been saying that I need to share this testimony. And here was this moment, so I called and it went through, so this is meant to be.
Let's go.
I had gotten a call back from my doctor back in April that a lung nodule they found was cancer. And so I'm hit smack in the face with a cancer diagnosis, lung cancer. And I'm driving and crying and trying to come to grips with this. When the song comes on the radio about, I don't know what tomorrow holds, but good thing I know who does. That, you know, it's in God's hands, not mine.
Absolutely.
And he proved himself in a big way. I had surgery. I'm cancer-free. I did not even have to have chemo and radiation. I don't know why God gave me a miracle, but he did.
Oh, wow.
And that song was such a comfort in that moment. And I just can't tell you how it means so much that God takes time to pat us on the back and say, I've got this.
You are absolutely right. And the fact that you don't know the song, it's okay because you know what you got from it. And that was God meeting you in that moment. And I'm glad that you got that. I love that. Thank you for sharing your story with us today.
Thank you.
When was the last time that you felt God was meeting you in a specific place?
Well, I was in prison in 2019. And at that time, I knew God, but I didn't really know him. And I hit my knees in my prison cell, and we just got back from church, and the song Different come on. And at that moment, I had just been praying for God to show me something different. I wanted to live a different life. I wanted to be off of drugs. I wanted to be away from that whole life and change my people, places, and things. And that song come on, and I felt the weight of the world lifted off my shoulders.
That's amazing how you can be in the worst place that anyone would find themselves in, and you can still have freedom. And that's the power of God. And again, meeting you right where you were. I think that's what's so important about our faith is that God pursues us and gives us what we need when we need it most. And for you, a Micah Tyler song, While You're in Prison, is the thing that helped free you. I love that.
And I've been sober ever since then, since 2019.
There you go. Well, congratulations on that. That's not easy to do, and that's amazing. And it's a testament to the life-changing, life-altering power of Jesus in your life. I love it, Julie.
Yes.
Thank you. You're exactly the reason we're doing this today, and you might give somebody else some hope, too.
All right. Thank you so much.
When was that last time that you felt God was meeting you right where you were?
Right. It was probably about 4 or 5 months after my accident. I was so angry with God. I didn't understand why my family was going through so much. My daughter in the hospital, my other daughter getting her apartment burned down, and me and my other daughter being in this accident. I got up one morning at 4 and I told God, I don't understand. I don't understand why I'm going through this. I don't know what I've done to have all this put upon me and my family, but I'm going to let it all go. I'm going to let it all go. And I felt like God was just telling me he walks with me. And I know that he's with me and with my family, and I just let all the negativity go, and I held on to all the positivity that I'm still here. There's a reason why I'm here. I don't understand. I don't know why, but there's a reason why God allows me to be here and watch my kids grow up and be a part of their lives.
Count it all joy. That's in the Bible. Count it all joy. Yeah. One of the hardest things to do when you're going through something is to count it all joy, you know. But I heard a pastor at my church talking about this verse, and I love the context behind it, because I always thought it was like, well, just be thankful for the bad things, and that's hard to do. But the context of what was also going on in this verse was counting it all joy that you don't have to face it alone. It's that you do have a God that loves you, sees you, cares about you, and will give you what you need when you need it. That's the concept of counting it all joy when you go through trials. Well, Jennifer, thank you for being on the show with us today and kind of sharing your story about God meeting you where you were.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.
Uplifting Way FM. If it's trending, streaming, or starring, Betty Rock's got it on The Rock Report.
Who of us in this room have watched an episode of The Voice?
I have, and I typically... I like it until they stop turning the chairs around. Like, I like the turn the chairs around part. I thought that was unique when that first came out, but then after that, I'm usually out.
Gavin?
I don't know. I'm not a big singing competition fan, and I'm with you that I think it looks, to me, it always looked like the best show of them all, but I never gave it a shot.
Yeah, I got really into American Idol back in the day, but then once we got past Taylor Hicks, I was like, I'm out. I'm done.
And then this one, The Voice has Carson Daly. Like, he is the Ryan Seacrest of The Voice, who neither one of them is necessary. So
Ryan Seacrest can do no wrong.
And Ryan Seacrest,
but in your mind,
he's not. He
can't do anything right.
He's not even needed in that show, honestly. So.
Well, anyways, I didn't know this, but Michael Bublé, you know him from songs like these.
It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life.
A crooner.
Yeah. Ooh, and he's got it too. Well, he was offered to be a judge on The Voice 15 separate times.
Oh, wow.
And every single time he said, nope, don't want to do it.
What a power move.
Boy, they really wanted him, I guess.
Yeah, and when he was asked why he doesn't want to do it, he said, well, most of the singers are better than me, and I have no place judging them. So he's very humble in his abilities. But he didn't realize there was a difference between coaching and judging. So he thought they wanted him to be a judge, where you sit in that seat, push the button, and you turn around.
Yeah.
But they didn't want that. They wanted him to be a coach.
Oh,
and with coaching, you don't have to. I mean, there is, I guess, an aspect of judging, but it's not as much as someone
it's more
sitting
like
in
teaching.
a chair.
Yeah, you're teaching. Like, the decisions have already been made as to who gets in or doesn't.
Right.
So you just get to help bring them along.
And I think it's a huge compliment to him that they want him to come and help these kids that are wanting to get into the same business. And he believes the same way. He finally said yes after he understood what it all meant.
He's finally doing it.
Yeah, and he said, quote, to get to coach them and live the fantasy of having this career that I've had and then get to have the fulfillment of helping someone else get that's the cool part.
I do like the self-aware nature of his thing, because he's not this fantastic, amazing singer, like with this big range. No, it's just...
His whole shtick is that he's, in essence, is like he's the Christmas guy.
Yeah,
like
he's
he comes out at Christmas and that's it.
I mean, yes, but no.
He's an everyman. He's a old Blue Eyes where he's just doing the hum-de-dum-de-doo.
He's this generation's Bing Crosby or Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Nat King Cole.
But and none of them had these stellar, like
they
voices.
Didn't have to.
Right. He's got a vibe, but it's not like. So I could see him being self-conscious of that, and I think that's like good that he's self-aware. Now, it's funny that like he couldn't make the leap to like he must never have seen the show to understand the difference between coaching and judging, or at some point in around the 14th time somebody didn't go, hey, do you think he's getting it? Do you think we should explain this to him or not?
He's sitting there going, ooh.
Exactly. Maybe he's not the best choice, so we'll see how this shakes out. All right, that's going to do it for your Rock Report. Thank you, Lady Rock. Uplifting Way FM, this is The Wally Show. If you've ever wanted to be a star, you have a chance right now because we are doing a contest that involves you creating a jingle for The Wally Show. Here's the best part. You don't have to be a professional musician. You just have to use your voice and your creativity because the best jingles are the simple ones. Like this one will get stuck in your head. There you go. Maybe one.
Do I know what they do? No, but I know what number to call. I know their number better than I know my own mom's
exactly. Or there's this classic. Yahoo! So whatever you come up with, you can submit to us. And here's the deal. If you're the winner, we're going to fly you to Nashville. And then we're not going to bring you to the radio studio. We're going to bring you to Capitol CMG Studios where they actually make records and do recordings with bands like We the Kingdom. Come on. And here's the best part. They're going to be live in the studio with us producing the track, the gold that you are going to come up with We the Kingdom. So if you want to get involved with this and give us a jingle, here's a little taste of what you're up against right now. These are some of the submissions that people have given us. This one is Natalia.
Do. Who's excited for the Wally Show?
I just like the do. It's kind of like a Windows, when you start your Windows machine, they have bong or whatever, like Netflix, like something like that might be a good direction to go. This is one that somebody rhymed the show with a lot of things.
Wally Show, the Wally Show. Best 3 hours on the radio. Nice. Wally Show. Wally Show, the only thing that plays in my dojo. The Wally Show, the Wally Show, better than a plate of spaghetti. Oh, let's all stop and listen to the Wally Show. Perfectamundo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you can be as creative as you want. And again, you have a great prize to win if you come up with the perfect Wally Show jingle.
Jingle, that's the word you need to text to 91979, and we will send you a link. That's jingle to 91979.
Contest ends Friday. I felt like I need to mention that too. So time is of the essence. We're running out of time on this. So get yours in today. Uplifting Way FM. This is The Wally Show. And a person's looks, is what we see first. But then you can have your opinion altered of somebody by how they behave. Like somebody that's really good looking on the surface and they start talking and you're like, oh, I don't like this at all.
There's like a habit or a characteristic of theirs that you're like, like I play this game with my friends. We play it called He's a 10 But.
Right.
And 10 means they're perfect.
Right.
But there's that one thing, okay? So I usually like to say, okay, he's a 10, but he has 25 pet snakes.
Right. Oh, okay, 100%.
So now
24 is fine, but
yeah.
So now he's like a 1, okay?
Right.
You get the thing. So it's a fun game to play. So if y'all had to say, let's say you're 10, but
first of all, thank you for that. Yeah. Like instead of going, we're going to play with you guys. You're a 2, but
hypothetical, okay? Like for me, I would say mine would be I'm a 10, but you're going to find yourself with cat hair.
Oh, everywhere, yeah.
Yeah, like I have to lint roll myself every day before I leave the house. And sometimes even when I get to work.
Yeah, she does. I've seen it. It's impressive. And then by the end of the day, she's still lint rolling herself, and there's no cats here.
Yeah, it's like, where is it coming from?
None of us know. It is a mystery. Gavin, I'm a 10 but for you.
I'll serve up the easy one. I'm a 10, but you have to share me with the bathroom.
Yes.
I do pee a lot.
You have a small bladder.
I have a small bladder. Yeah. It's not my fault. Maybe it is. I don't know.
You should go to the doctor about that.
I'm a 10, but I eat loudly. Yeah, I do.
Oh, don't get me started.
I know.
Yes, that is so true because he could take pudding.
Yeah.
He could take Jell-O.
Yep.
He could take cheddar cheese, and somehow it sounds like he's eating a bag of chips. I look over, I'm like, why are you mouth breathing right now? Stop.
I know, so that's it. I'm a 10 butt. So what is yours? This is a chance for you to be honest about your assessment. And maybe if you even go through this process, it might help you go, oh, this is why I'm single. Or oh, this is why people say this about me, you know? So 855-33-WAY-FM. That's 855-33-WAY-FM. I'm a 10 butt. But could we have them do this about like their spouse too, maybe?
Sure, yeah, and that might be easier. You know, it's always
definitely
easier.
safer.
It's always easier to see the log in someone else's eye.
For sure.
Before you the splinter in their eye before you see the log in your own. You get what I'm saying for sure.
She's a 10, but she gets her metaphors backwards.
You get it.
Yeah, 855-33-WAY-FM. So yeah, let's do that. Let's go with what your spouse's problem is. That'll be more fun. 855-33-WAY-FM. We'll take it right now. So your husband is a 10, but
yeah, I married a 10, but he's the biggest procrastinator and can't finish anything. So every project he starts is undone, and I'm currently looking at a popcorn ceiling that he has half scraped, and that was 2 years ago.
Oh.
But he tells me every weekend, I'm going to finish that this weekend. I'm going to finish that this weekend.
Well, you can't say anything to him, Stephanie, because then it's going to look like you're pestering him and you're always nitpicking him. But then when does it become, it's been a while? Like, when does it become where you're not pestering anymore?
Well, I think 2 years is definitely out of the not pestering zone, like to get a project done where your ceiling is half scraped. I think that's fair. That one is definitely fair. I'm the opposite. I'm a 10, but I finish every project quickly, and I will ignore eating. I'll ignore my wife. I'll ignore everything until that project is done, because I get like singularly focused, and so I have the exact opposite problem as that.
Well, I wish I would have known that. I would have married maybe someone more like you, Wally.
Oh, yeah. No, Stephanie. No, don't say that.
No, Stephanie's dead on. Dead on.
And now for some good news.
Uplifting WAY-FM. This here is the Wally Show with a little good news. Giddy up. A couple rapid fire good news stories designed to make you feel a little bit better about the world we're living in, because the regular news can be a bit of a bummer. So we're going to start with you, Lady Rock. Good news, giddy up. Go.
There's a place named Paw Paw, Michigan.
What?
Paw Paw, Michigan.
Oh, man.
P-A-W. P-A-W.
Love it.
Paw Paw, Michigan.
Paw.
But there is a 5th grade teacher in Paw Paw that his video is going viral on TikTok because he talks about how every lunch period he'll go and sit with his 5th graders and eat lunch with them. He could have quiet time, be by himself, or go talk to some adults, some other teachers, but instead he chooses to sit and eat with his students, and the reason is because he wants to connect with them in a real way. Of course, you know, in classes there's all that getting to know you type thing, but you build those friendships and those bonds through sitting with them at lunch. And what's so cool too is he said in the video that he started doing this, and then the students were kind of shocked by it, and they're like, "Are you going to sit with us tomorrow?
Nice.
Can you sit with us the next day?" Like, they like it.
5th grade, when they still like you as a teacher, it's so good. It's so good.
That's true, because once you get to 6th and on up,
it starts getting a little dicey. No, I love that. I think that's a good idea. Speaking of connection, there was a hairdresser named Kayla, and she's just working at a sports clip, you know, getting it done. And this lady came in and sat down in her chair, and it inspired Kayla to do the unthinkable. You know, most clients that come in and they sit with the hairstylist and they're almost like a therapist, you know?
Yeah.
But it was obvious what was going on with this lady. She was in a cancer battle, and it was time to shave her head. Her hair was falling out in clumps. And so Kayla realized this, and she, you know, was going to shave her hair. But then, this is what's really cool. She, like, could sense that this lady kind of felt alone in her cancer battle, and somebody captured this on video. Kayla starts shaving her own head.
No!
And she is a hairdresser, had like really great long hair and stuff too. So she shaves her own head in solidarity with a lady she doesn't even know, isn't connected to, but decided to do that.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of cool. That makes you go, you know what? There are still good people in the world that see people and care about people, and it's not even necessarily based in a faith thing. I have no idea what this lady's faith is,
right?
But I just love that she was concerned about another person enough to go, hey, I see you. I'm going to go through this with you. So very cool. So there you go. That is going to do it for your good news giddy up.
Well, that's the end, but it doesn't have to be. Check out our Aftercast. It's new stuff you didn't hear in the podcast. Be sure to rate us on iTunes as well as connect with us on social media. Just search Wally Show. And if you'd like to join our Facebook group made exclusively for you potties, the link is in the description of this podcast. Thanks to Colorado Christian University Online for supporting what we do.